everyone, welcome back to the Crossroads, where we talk about all the secrets of the blues. This week is going to be a good one. We're talking about the four arpeggios of the blues and the secret of how to use them. The secret is very important. No one else talks about this. Now, what I was doing at the beginning there, I was using some arpeggios, just playing over a G7 chord. Now, you might be familiar with arpeggios, but you won't be perhaps familiar with this. I'm playing a G7 chord. Now, a G7 chord has four notes in it. We have a G, a B, a D, and an F. Now, because this chord has four notes, you can start an arpeggio from each of the four notes. So if we started an arpeggio from the root note, the G, we would get a G7 arpeggio. Sounds like this. And that's the classic one you hear. But there is some others, as I say. So if we start from the third, which is the B, that's going to give us a Bm7 flat 5 arpeggio, which sounds like this. Sounds a little bit weird. We get back to that in a minute. If we start from the fifth note, that's a D note, the fifth, that's going to give us a Dm7 arpeggio. Again, a little bit weird, but again, we'll come back to it. Last one, if we start on the flat 7, which is an F note, we get an Fmaj7 arpeggio. Okay, so let's recap, starting from the root, G7. That's the standard one. From the B, Bm7 flat 5. From the fifth, Dm7. And from the flat 7, the F. An Fmaj7 arpeggio. Okay, now let's have a listen to how they sound with the backing track. Okay, let's do the G7. Bm7 flat 5 goes like this. Bit weird. Do it again. Going to talk about this in a minute. Let's do the next one from the fifth, the Dm7 flat 5. D minor, sorry. There it goes. Okay, and then the last one, Fmaj7. Now, if we're starting from the G, that sounds really great. That's your home key. Why does that sound good? Because each of these notes, G, B, D, F, and then it repeats G, B, D, F, G, B, each one of those notes is in our chord, and it sounds really good. But let's say we play this next one, Bm7 flat 5. Oh, now that is an arpeggio built from how it should be, from the chord. But can you see, look, we're landing on an A note there. Sounds pretty bad. Now here is the secret. No one tells you this. When you use these arpeggios, you have to resolve it to one of the chord tones in G. So either G, B, D, or F. Let me show you what I mean. So here's Bm7 flat 5, and I'm going to resolve it this time. That sounds better. What did I do there? I played the Bm7 arpeggio, flat 5. But I'm finishing on A, so I'm just going to... Why did I do that? That's a G note. So that resolves it nicely. So you can use it a bit more. It's a bit more usable now. What if, look, here's a B note there on the 4th fret, isn't it? So what if I went up to the B? If I went... Not bad. I could do a chromatic where I go up to that note. Chromatic is in between the A and the B, so this B flat. Sounds a bit more bluesy. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see. What about the D minor? What if we do that one and we landing on the C again? C isn't in G7. That was give you like a sus4. But look, we just said there's a B there on the 4th fret. Slid into that one. Can you hear? That sounds great. Then I went to the G. Really good. Okay, let's try the next one, Fmaj7. Not so bad. But that's an E note. An E note isn't in a G7 chord. What could we do? We could resolve it to G, B or D. I'm thinking which note is nearer. Well, there's a note, there's a D there, so we could do this. What about if we did this? Even better, chromatic in between the E and the D. So Fmaj7. Really good. What else could we do? Maybe we could add another note in there too. I added a B. Why? The B. It's in G, isn't it? Then I finished on the D. So you can muck about with these phrases. That sounds all good. So we've done Bm7. Finished on the chord tone. We did D minor. Great. And Fmaj7. So now, what you also want to do with this is try and keep this bluesy. I think a lot of problems happen when we start learning arpeggios. You don't have to forget about what you already know, i.e. the pentatonic scale. So what I mean by that is, let's say we get a little playful with this. What if we just do this Fmaj7 arpeggio? So what I'm doing there is I'm trying to add, you know, a bit of blues to it. So see that move that we always do, you know, in our blues. You can add that to it and that sounds really good. Right, and then I did that one we did before. Did that first one again. And then I do this. That one is a G7 arpeggio. That's what the arpeggio is. But I linked that chromatically from the 5th, the D, to the flat 7, the F. I'm finished on the G, and then it sounds resolved. That's really good. The other thing you can do with these arpeggios is don't be scared to play your blues licks. And add a little bit of the arpeggio in. So I just played a simple lick. So when I played this simple lick, so what did I do there? Played this simple G lick. Then I walked down from the G to the flat 7. And when I got there, I went up the arpeggio. And then walked up the arpeggio, and then I resolved on the chord tone. Could carry on further, could finish up on the G, couldn't we? on the D that time. So you can muck about with all these things. Just one more example. Let's do it from maybe the Bm7 flat 5. Let's have here's the arpeggio, starting from the B. Unresolved. Let's do it to a chord tone. There's the chord tone. There's a G. That would sound good. Pretty good. Chromatic walk down. So I hope you can see, you can get some kind of mileage with this. You get more confident using them as time goes on. But like I say, include your blues licks too. So I'm still playing my blues licks, but I'm adding little bits of kind of arpeggios in there, here and there. So these are quite playful. That note there I added was the A from the flat 5, so a lick. So there we go. Hope that helps. Thanks for joining me this week on The Crossroads. Bring your friends along next week and we'll talk about some more secrets. Do remember to subscribe if you can. See you next time.